Sober, no smoking. Redditor, what do you do to kill time? Make speaker boxes for people. Take care of unwanted dogs. Yard work. Volunteer to help others. Home improvements. Mainly spend most my free time with my son. Biking, fishing, Pokemon Go. Whatever he wants to do. Hope you have a great night. Reddit, code, read books, build models, do puzzles, fitness, video games. I quit drinking 10 years ago, I quit smoking 7 years ago, and I quit dip 4 years ago. Upon my first desire to quit drinking, I took up WoW and dove in head first to get addicted to keep my ass out of bars. It worked, trading one addiction for another. Quitting smoking was rather easy since I was still dipping, but transitioning from smoking to vaping really helped, and I was done vaping after like 3 months. Dip was the hardest to quit because at my job they wouldn't even allow me to use fake dip, so I gradually made my dips smaller and farther apart, went from 1 can a day to 1 can in 2 weeks, and after that point it was easier to quit, so I did. Games, YouTube, anime, Reddit, talking in Discord, video editing, Photoshop. Just do something fun or pick up a skill you're interested in. My man, yeah, but after some time, I still want to pause. Drink water, drink tea, find a cup of coffee. If it is meant as a pause, I feel the heat or cool in the glass, enjoy the steam or fragrance, really taste the water. There are many different waters. It can be a mini meditation to search for a water fountain or find a coffee shop with cucumber water. This is my pause, and the desperate reach for my water bottle as I process whatever just happened. Drink the water, pause, respond. I smoked, and also had a beer from time to time. I also have ADD, got a short attention span, so playing games or whatever still got me distracted, and I ended up smoking. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I just quit cold turkey. Nope. I called my GP and told her I wanted to quit smoking. I ended up using Champix, and I was like, a pill is never going to make me quit, but it did. I quit smoking and with that stopped drinking any alcoholic drinks, and I smoked my last cig 3 years ago, and also drank my last drink at that same time. It's weird, but Champix for me really is a miracle medicine. It works, but you also need to want to quit. I like to think of it as what can we do to enjoy our time. If we're not under the influence, we are fully capable of feeling, experiencing the world. So I enjoy activities like hiking, biking to feel my body move, eating good food and making it a point to try new menu items, food combined, having good conversation, self-reflection, reading, writing, painting, camping, things that stimulate the senses to make me feel alive. Ex-smoker here. I used the vape to quit smokes and then went cold turkey on that. I took up running since you can't have both. I love running now. I still smoke very occasionally on nights out, but I'll never buy a pack, and I had to simpleton quit for 6 months to get to the point where it doesn't trigger a relapse. Try not to be too hard on yourself about it. It takes effort and discipline, but you'll quit when you're ready. I can't even count how many times I tried and failed, but I ultimately succeeded, and it's been 1.5 years since I quit now. I had one major relapse in that time due to a culmination of shitty life circumstances, but after a couple months I realized I didn't want to go back to that, so I stopped again. It's so worth it. I can't even describe to you how much better you'll feel. Good luck, friend. Hey man. Quit smoking and drinking not long ago, 2 weeks and going strong. If the weather is nice, I go outside and listen to music. If I can't do that, I watch Netflix or read books. I honestly prefer reading books, as I then feel like I've educated myself to some extent, which makes me feel good about myself. When I used to drink and smoke, I never read anything as my mind was always too dazed. Oh, and also counting the money that I'm saving and imagining what I'm gonna spend it on. Nice furniture, new electronic gadgets, is a very nice motivation. Best of luck, my friend. So far it's been worth it for me. Smile. Listen to podcasts, do puzzles, work on my yard, cook, try new recipes, play with my dog, play video games, watch movies, read. I was never a smoker, but when I cut out drinking, I basically had to relearn my hobbies, and that I liked the hobbies for themselves and drinking didn't actually improve upon them, make life less boring, like I had become dependent on thinking. In fact, I get a lot more out of my hobbies sober. I learn and remember more in general, and I wake up productive every day, so I have more time to do new things. Honestly, at my worst times of absolute boredom, or when I feel just bad, I sleep. Go to bed early, take a nap. The idea was for me, BC I figure I have a problem needing attention, I digress, was that the thing I want would come quicker. Similarly, it would be the bad feeling would leave. I'd think clearer if SMTH upset me. If your smoking was like that, I do suggest finding a time waster. Take a nap if it helps. Listen to other suggestions if this was bad. On a happier note, in general I read, play games, especially Stardew Valley ATM, watch YouTube, do crafts and art. You can always look into finding a hobby to cure boredom. Or even find something you must do sober, something enjoyable. Find some hobbies, man. I do lapidary, paint, and wood burning. I love looking for rocks to use in my lapidary stuff, gets me out of the house. Have you ever done any rock hunting? I really enjoy it. Also, I've never considered myself creative or the artsy type, but I can tell you more about the wood burning and painting if you're interested. It's mostly tracing and painting by copying the original that you print out. The results are usually pretty cool though. Good on you for being sober. I've had problems with alcohol for a long time, and I'm finally dealing with it also. I have a job that is also my hobby. It eats up loads of time. The time that is left I spend on my cat, music, playing guitar, and RC cars. Lately I have done a bit of RC rail running. It is very slow-paced and relaxing, and it gets me out of the house and into nature. In the warm period of the year, one spend a lot of time on my real cars and going to car shows. Last year there weren't that many shows, and it doesn't look like there will be many this year either. Instead I have gone on short camping trips with my car friends and the lady in the house. Quit smoking and drinking about 4 years ago. I got drunk to overcome social anxiety, but I found the fun in hanging out with my drunk friends while staying sober. Plus I learned that, despite my worries, people really don't care if you're just having a soda instead of alcohol. If you're hanging around the right people, they won't judge you. Other than the social aspect of smoking, I realized that I got pleasure from smoking just by going outside, taking a break, and breathing. I continued the habit without smoking, went outside and enjoyed the fresh air. When you smoke you focus on the smoke going in and out of your body, and in a way that's a kind of meditation. So I tried meditation and yoga to focus on my breathing and continue to enjoy that moment of taking time to breathe. Another habit I took up was making good tea and coffee. I enjoy the ritual of grinding the beans, choosing the leaves and taking time to brew everything correctly. Games, art, hiking, writing, cooking and baking new things, seeing classic movies, and then when I'm done with college I have some free online courses I want to work through, on programming, maths, history, etc. The world is as interesting as you make it, and I don't see a point in drinking or smoking unless it adds positively to the experience I'm having. Like, today I'm making a ham, so I've got a couple new craft beers to try out, and then to make a glaze out of. Most of it's going to the ham. Smile. There's also lots and lots of YouTube videos on any topic you can think of. Recently I found this 700 video series about WW1 on a week-by-week basis. That's wild. D. Do you mean to suggest people that drink will literally get drunk to pass the time? Because that's an alcoholic mate, not a normal person that drinks alcohol. I don't think I've ever met somebody that's thought I'm bored, I'll get drunk. In reply to your question though, at the moment, TV, video games, play music, because my country is still in full lockdown with everything shut, so you literally can't do anything out of your house. Feel like I kinda fit this. Both my girlfriend and I don't smoke at all and don't drink when it's just us, which is 99.5% of the time. We only drink if we are out with group of friends, which since COVID started in March 2020 we can probably count on our hands the amount of the times we've gone out. I never saw the relief, or whatever you call it, getting home from work and cracking open a beer, wine. Working in healthcare during a pandemic, everyone's always commenting how they can't wait to have a drink afterwards. Like, don't you have stuff to do? I would always get home, hit the garage gym, shower, dinner, play with the kid, and next thing you know it's bedtime. I feel truly blessed to have the magical ability to keep myself entertained at all times. Not to humble brag or anything, but it's really great. All alone at home, sweet. I get to play video games or waste time on Reddit or YouTube, or maybe I'll read that book I haven't gotten the chance to yet, or maybe I'll just bother the cat, or I'll just run around the house, even when doing stuff I don't want to do. Like some of the less fun stuff at work, I'll just think about riding a dinosaur or some such at the same time. If I can't think of something I want to do in my free time, chances are I'm either depressed or my hormones are out of whack or something. Reading, video games, like watching films, go to nature reserves, theme parks, etc. I don't smoke and I don't like to drink because I'm the only driver. And my cat is diabetic, and my medication makes me feel really sick if I drink more than one, and I won't drive if I've had anything to drink. Plus point is that when I do have a drink it's a bit more of a treat, so I'll spend more money on getting something nicer. When I don't drink, I walk. I ended up walking 3,600 kilometers the first time in about a year, then started drinking again. California levels of drinking, not a couple of beers in the evening. 2 years later I walked 4,000 kilometers in less than a year, then started drinking again because I have zero responsibilities, not rich but don't have to work, so why not? Another period being sober. I went fishing every day to prove to myself that I could eat without buying things, fish and plantains. It gets boring really quick. So former smoker and stoner here. It takes some effort in the beginning to find things to kill time, but for me, when I feel bored and don't know what to do, I ask myself, what can I do now to make my life a little better than it is? After that I usually wash my dishes or do anything I was avoiding. When this task is done, it doesn't need to be a long task. You will be getting a little dopamine, and either you get the vibe of getting shit done and do more, or you find yourself at peace and can enjoy simple things more, like listening to music, going for a walk in nature, watching a stupid, or not so stupid, show. But after all, you definitely need a hobby which is catching the attention by itself. I know it is hard to find something, but sometimes you need to search to find. And of course sports is always a good way. Hard to start, but when you do it is a no-brainer for feeling good. Consider mountain biking, hiking. For me, anything nature related brings me at peace and kills all the boredom. Work a lot. Typically leave my home 9 a.m. and get back 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Between looking at new properties to buy, I'm doing 2 rehabs with 2 crews at the same time. Plus I have to rent those 2 homes out in the next 2 weeks. Collected rents from current property in the past few days. Buy lots and lots of material from Home Depot, as in around 10K a week minimum. Make sure all bills are paid from 65 SFH properties. Set up new services at 4 properties I purchased this past week, and so forth. Most days are simple, but sometimes it can all pile up with 80 phone calls plus driving everywhere. I can have a constant headache some days, but I love it. I sew plushies and repair plushies for friends. I read. I'm currently trying to learn Japanese. I talk to my friends and my boyfriend on Discord. I draw. I play video games. There are a lot of things I do and that I love doing, and soon I'll start helping my father a bit for some pocket money, so even more to do. Work a lot. Typically leave my home 9 a.m. and get back 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. Between looking at new properties to buy, I'm doing 2 rehabs with 2 crews at the same time. Plus I have to rent those 2 homes out in the next 2 weeks. Collected rents from current property in the past few days. Buy lots and lots of material from Home Depot, as in around 10K a week minimum. Make sure all bills are paid from 65 SFH properties. Set up new services at 4 properties I purchased this past week, and so forth. Most days are simple, but sometimes it can all pile up with 80 phone calls plus driving everywhere. I can have a constant headache some days, but I love it. Wait, I smoke so I get high. Either proceed to game, work, do houseworks, gardening, hanging out with friends, riding my bike. To kill time smoking and drinking, you should be rolling a cigarette or a joint or preparing your pipe, bong. Whatever you are smoking, almost all the time you are free. The less activity I have done after smoking is sleeping or maybe listening to music, but even that consumes your time too. Find something random on Netflix or something to watch that looks interesting. Play games, read a book, scroll through Reddit or even TikTok if I want short, easy to consume videos when my attention span is lacking. Bake a cake, just eat snacks, try to find a random new skill that seems interesting enough to attempt and fail at. I maybe just have too much spare time. Wait, I smoke so I get high. Either proceed to game, work, do houseworks, gardening, hanging out with friends, riding my bike. To kill time smoking and drinking, you should be rolling a cigarette or a joint or preparing your pipe, bong. Whatever you are smoking, almost all the time you are free. The less activity I have done after smoking is sleeping or maybe listening to music, but even that consumes your time too. Reading, video games, Korean drama, spend time with my husband and pets. If I didn't hate the snow, I bet snowboarding and snow sports would be amazing. There is also rollerblading, which is honestly tons of fun. Going for walks. If you are the more sociable type, there is sports. It's not just for kids or athletes. Would avoid clubs if you were thinking of going sober. Kill time or spend it. Kill time, watch movies, play video games, make music, 3D model, learn stuff. That's probably my favorite. Just picking up something new to do. Maybe learn to do it for a week. Maybe indefinitely, who knows. Spend time, vibe with friends. Maybe I'm a little odd, but when my friends are drinking I can feel the vibe. Get goofy and slow and sleepy too, but still drive them home when the time comes. If they smoke, I just respectfully keep my distance and they respect that distance too, and talk about anything and everything. I'm glad you asked. I build things, display cases, frames, figurines for a tabletop game I created. I play piano, guitar, drums, produce music, charcoal sketches, oil paintings, create websites, hang out with my family, skateboard, golf, coach youth soccer, work full-time, and a shed fucking ton of laundry. Sometimes I play video games, very selective though. Hitman 3, Tekken 7, I don't like many games. Weed, alcohol, drugs, all that kind of shit impairs my ability to do those things even just 1%, then there's no reason to do them. I like to be good at things, not average, and definitely not shitty. I've never smoked outside of a couple of herbal sticks in my youth. I quit drinking at the start of the pandemic. I took up running and working out, I play more games, get better sleep, and my well-being has never been better. I don't feel like I'm on the verge of dying throughout the day anymore, which ironically also makes me think less about killing myself. Still happens though when I have my off days. Generally though, I've gone from having every day a waking nightmare with the occasional good day, which I then felt guilty about because I can't really be depressed if I feel good one day and 20 right, to the complete opposite. Drinking was a huge drain on my resources. It's mental to think how much money I was spending on something that just made me feel like shit. I have an app that tracks my sobriety and gives me a figure for how much money I've saved, and it's eye-opening. I tell you, that was a very